Good day, people. This is Sharpino here. Welcome you guys to a special video. I didn't think I would do this, but I thought, you know what? It's not enough for me to just do a kind of combined video for Let's Play reviews, and I talked about my lost subscribers and talked about Let's Plays. But I thought I would go ahead and, if I ever play a fan game, when I complete the game, I would go ahead and do reviews for the entire game. Look at the good points, the bad points, ways the game could improve, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and then give it a score based off what I thought about it. So, like I said, if you guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button down below, because as always, your support is very appreciated. Keep in mind that this is just my opinion on the game. I'm not saying you have to agree with everything I say, and of course, it has to be said that if you haven't played the game and you don't want spoilers, I recommend that you don't watch this video, because I'm going to go through a lot of the things that happens throughout the game. So yeah, that's just fair warning. But if you haven't already played and you want to hear my opinion of it, then more than welcome. Sit back, relax, enjoy it. Okay, so Pokémon Sweet version is a ROM hack of Pokémon Fire Red. The creators were Efren225 and Chanini of DeviantArt, which, if you guys don't know, is I would say a very well-known game developing group. It has 151 PokéSweets in the game, so like the original games, there's only 151. And all PokéSweets involved, and they can be caught. So I guess that's a good thing if you like. I mean, it's because it's a fan game. I think the creators want to try to keep everything within the game, which I think is a good thing for a lot of creators to do. I mean, you have some creators that will make a ROM hack or whatever, and they'll keep everything as far as trade evolution all that good, or I say current, and it's not good because if you're trying to keep everything, because not many fan games have continuations. So I mean, if your game doesn't have a continuation, there's no really point of keeping like trade evolution from Machoke to Machamp, Kadabra to Alakazam, and so forth. 12 types split amongst these PokéSweets. Now I will say, I'll go through this in a bit more detail. Now there are 12 types in this game, but they're all food types. They're not just like Pokemon types, like fire, grass and water. It's like strawberry, lime, and blueberry. So they're all these different types split amongst them. The only thing I don't like is that there's no distinctions between physical and special. So you don't know which is which. Most of the battles in the game are double battles, which I personally thought was a very interesting idea, just because the games are so used to having just one-on-one, 1v1s, and this game took it to the next level and did all double battles. So it obviously forced you to change the way you battle throughout the game, and if you're especially doing a Nuzlocke, it changes the way you play the game, because obviously you're going to be more careful with losing Pokemon in situations such as this. The gym leaders can be fought over and over. Well, see, another thing I don't like, okay, this happens at the start of the game, but then towards the end of it, they kind of just drop the ball on it, and then the gym leaders can only fought once. So it's good, but it's not good. Like, if you're going to have a concept run throughout the game, you got to try to keep it consistent. You can't just have, go parts of it here, parts of it there, because it's just going to, well, first off, it doesn't keep the theme of your game current, as far as, well, this is the way you want the game to be portrayed, but then you get lazy and then you don't follow through with the rest of it. It's either seen as laziness or just bad programming, because, I mean, you're supposed to keep, if that's your idea that you're trying to pass throughout the entire game, then you should keep it through the entire game. It's not a reason why you should just keep it at a certain point. And PokéSweets are remade through to Gen 6, so the only Gen 6 Pokemon I saw was a Slurpuff, but it got renamed to Monsieur, so I don't know if that has any relevance or anything, but I mean, the fact that they tried to get Pokemon from Gen 1 to Gen 6 though, I thought it was pretty good. So I don't know how they came about choosing the Pokemon, but you know what, I do appreciate the fact that they went all the way to Gen 6 as far as their Pokemon selections. Now, let's move on to the positives of this game. This is just my personal, again, I'm not saying you have to agree with it, but this is just my opinion. So, first and foremost, a complete remake of the game. So, reinventing the game, creating a new gaming experience for veteran Pokemon players such as myself, and probably, I would say, the majority of the audience here. So, I mean, it's a good thing, because a lot of the times when people play a ROM game and it doesn't have too much, I would say, difference from the original game, it seems like you're just playing the original game. So, to call it a ROM hack would be a little bit silly, because it's like, well, why would you call it a ROM hack if it's exactly like the original game? So this game took it to the next level by reinventing the maps, reinventing the characters, reinventing the dialogue, reinventing everything in the game. Even the Pokemon and their moves too. So I mean, definitely props to them, which comes to my next point, which is creativity. As I said, the maps, the music, I mean, some music was old, some music was new, some music was from other things, and the PokéSweets. Creative designs are named very, very creative indeed. I would definitely say points for the creativity in some of it. I mean, I'll go through some of my personal favorites. For original design, not remakes, my favorite Pokemon was Reginger. Just because it's a giant gingerbread house, and you know, it's legendary, and you know, Regigigas, Reginger, you know, is kind of a play on words. So I mean, definitely props to that. Now, as far as my favorite remake of a Pokemon, I'll definitely have to go with Brownosaur, just because it's so adorable, and you know, I really think they nailed it on the head as far as, you know, a starter that people would want. I would say, by design, Brownosaur is my favorite, but I still think Squirpie is my favorite. That's just me, though. Sorry, Strawman, you get the axe. Now, my least favorite PokéSweet was Salmon Coat. I think this goes without saying. I just don't like this Pokemon because the cones and everything is a little bit too overdone. If they made him half cone and just the top half blue, I could tolerate that. But it just, to me, it's very flimsy, and I don't like it. Just to me, I think it's the worst design in the game. Not saying that you should dislike it because I say so, but this is just my opinion. Say I don't like that PokéSweet. Next point in the positives, story. So, not too many rivals in this game, unlike Pokemon X and Y, where they give you like 3 or 4 rivals. And even though Serena or Brandon are like your main rivals, basically you don't have sidekicks, you don't have anything, it's just rivals. Now this one they actually give you 2. 2 is fine, because a lot of the times you'll find that one rival might be too boring. I mean, Gen 5 they give you 3 actually. They give you Bryson, they give you Bianca, and then they give you N. N is probably your main rival, but I would say Bryson. What am I talking about? Fucking Sharon. Sharon and Bianca. So, freaking brain fuck right there. So Sharon, I would say, is more so your competitive rival. And then in Black and White 2, they give you, you know, your rival there. I don't know what his original name is, but basically he's your rival and all that. So this one is, so they give you 2, but they do give you a 3rd one, but the 3rd one's not heavily placed in the game too often, and it's probably the most annoying one. It's like the Gary variant, which is the one you name. And they actually have 2 enemy groups integrated in this game here, and I do like this because one of the groups derived from the original game of Red and Blue, which is Team Rocket, so in this case Team Sour, and the one derives from the 3rd gen, which is obviously the Black Sugar Pirates or Team Aqua. So they tie in together the fact that it's Gen 1 meets Gen 3 with the Fire Red ROM-hack. So I think it was good how they integrated 2 different war groups, so 2 different Pokemon enemies groups in the game. So I thought that was pretty cool. Next up is gameplay. There's no glitches. Like I said, most of the game is double battles, which adds, like I said, a different playstyle to the game. The fact that you only make gym leaders means that grinding and making money is a lot easier, as opposed to going to the bush and versing level 5, level 6s and all that, and just busting your butt trying to level up your Pokemon. But also, at the end of the game, before you face the Elite Four, there's a shop that gives you every single TM in the game. And I do like that they sell a lot of items in the game that really are very rare to come by, like Ethers and Elixirs and Max Ethers and all that. They sell that at the Rainbow City, which is like the Celadon City. So I thought that was pretty good how they did that, because it just shows that they care enough to say, okay, we know these items are rare to find, but we want to try to help you use them. I mean, throughout the game, you'll come at some points where those items will actually become, you know, very needed indeed. And the fact that medicines are only 1,000 each, like HP RPs and all that, makes it easier. I mean, if you really, really, really want to get your Pokemon, competitively ready, there's a place where they can reset the EVs on your Pokemon PokéSweet, and then you can go ahead and start from scratch. And last point is the ending leaves you wanting more, and I'll explain to you why. Because at the end of every Red and Blue game, you get Mewtwo, you get Mew, and you're left there going, well, what's next? So this game pretty much leaves you wanting more. I would love to see a Pokémon Sweet version 2. I don't know which game they plan to, I mean, if they did decide to redo the game, but which game they would try to put that off, and if so, what other Pokemon designs would they add to it? So I mean, that's pretty much, you know, that's my general gist of it as far as the positive. Now we go to the negatives of this game. Now the first negative I have against this game is the champion. Now, personally, I thought that the actual champion could be more integrated into the story, so that it would make sense that this person or this being Dark Chocobo, is the ultimate rival and not the 3 given to you at the start of the game. So you see Dark Chocoban throughout the course of the game at 2 parts of the game. On the boat, or Estes Banana, and at the Sweet Science building. So having a look at that and seeing how you can see that she has a disliking towards humans, it's not a big, wow factor when you find out that she or it is the rival, your ultimate rival in the game. Like at first you would think it's the 3 people you're given, but then when you find out there's 2, well, first off, you see the 2 given to you at the start or before the Elite 4, and you're like, well, why are they here? Why are they not in there? And then you see the 3rd person get kicked out by a leader of the Patriots, and it's like, so then who the hell's a champion? It's like, it throws a giant curveball at you. Like, throughout the game, you usually get that, Team Rocket, the leader is the final gym leader. In this case, they integrated the 2 groups to be the final 2 gym leaders, which I thought was good. But I thought the champion could be more placed in the story to kind of give more meaning to the reveal that this person's champion. Like, to me, I was kind of like, why? When I found out that Dark Chocoban was the champion, I was like, why? It didn't make sense. And then to have a god being overthrown by its own creation, because you find out that the original Chocoban created Dark Chocoban, and then it's like, what? It didn't make sense. Like, I understand where they were going with the story, trying to say that, humans are evil, and they only want to destroy us and everything else, but I personally didn't get the feel of it. I really didn't. Next thing I want to talk about is the legends at Seafoam Islands. Now, I feel like I'm going to be honest, I feel like they personally got a little lazy with this part here. Putting all the legends in one area is a bit lazy. That's just me. Now, the way the original game did it was they placed 3 different legends, 3 different places. Now, I understand they put Regina where Zapdos was, and then they put, but then they put 3 legends in one. So they had Cry Orange, oh god. So you had Cry Orange, you had Icebox, and then you had Lime. The Lime one's like Manaphy, I think it is. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll get to it. Basically, the Pokemon throughout the game, like having it all being placed in one spot it just seems very lazy to me. Like, you could have spread it out a bit more. You could even put, if you really wanted to, make another legend post-game instead of putting all 3 in one. Because then you could have one in the Seafoam Islands, one in the Victory Road, or Rocky Road, and then have one post-game with Mewtwo and Mew, so that it would just make finding the legends and everything just a bit more special. Having them all one spot just seems a bit too convenient. But I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, like, these are all the PokéSweets, have a look at them, here they are. But at the same token, it's like, you want the game to be a bit challenging, so you don't want everything to be just handed to you on a silver platter. And the catch rates were too easy as well. Okay, I'll just say this right now. The catch rates on the Pokemon were far too easy. For Mewtwo, and the legends, they were too easy to catch. Like, Mewtwo and Mew didn't even need Master Balls. Now, if that was the case, why would they give you the Master Ball? The whole point of the Master Ball is for that one encounter. Now, I understand some people want to be skillful and try to catch something in, say, a Pokeball instead of, say, an Ultra Ball or whatever. But I don't know, I just thought the catch rates were far too easy. That's just me, though. Next I wanted to discuss in the game is the level spikes. Honestly, the level spikes in this game drove me crazy. Especially when I was doing the Nuzlocke of this game, the levels just jumped like crazy. And I'll explain to you an example. In the Cerulean Gym, or Orange City Gym, the first trainer has 2 Pokemon, one's level 10, one's level 12. So you're thinking, okay, if I have level 16, 17, I'll be okay. Then the second trainer has 1 Pokemon level 19. You're thinking, what the fuck? Okay, I might be a little bit undertrained, I might still be good though, because he's only got 1 Pokemon. Then you versus Gym Leader, and Gym Leader has level 25s. 3 level 25s. And you're going, what? Why is the Pokemon's level so different? From the first trainer to the Gym Leader, there's a 15 level gap, and it's like, why would they do that? Like, especially when you're trying to, if you're trying to play the game normally, that's fine. But if you're trying to Nuzlocke it, it's going to be very ridiculous, because you would have to over-prepare. If you had no background knowledge in the game, you would get blown the fuck back in this gym alone. So, I guess the rivals and all that having low 20s could be an indicator for it, but it's just confusing. You don't want to confuse your gamers too much. And especially when it comes to points in the game where you lose Pokemon, you've got to retrain Pokemon, and to retrain them is just ridiculous. And this is why I hate older games. I love older games to play, but to grind in Nuzlocke, I fucking hate it, because it's just a grind to get Pokemon to a certain point. Like, some people even use cheats for rare candies or what have you, just to get their Pokemon to a certain point. Now, personally, I have nothing against that, because as a Nuzlocker, what you're trying to do is, if you're a content creator and you're trying to put videos out there, and they're pressed for time, that's what they'll do. I personally don't have a problem with it. I've done it previously in the past, so I have no problems with that. I honestly don't. Next point is that the gyms don't follow the same common rule. So, like I said earlier in this video, I understand that, you know, they want to make this game unique with the fact that you can't leave the gym unless you beat the gym leader, and you can burst them over and over again. And I actually liked the concept. What fell very flat to me was the fact that they started to lapse on that point in the game. So by that I mean some gyms didn't follow that, and it's like, why would you do that? If you're trying to create a unique game where that's a unique part of the game, you should keep it all throughout the game. You shouldn't just stop at the last couple of gyms because either they're key characters or you're getting lazy. You shouldn't do that. And then finally we have that some of the game dialogue remained the same, and it didn't make sense on some of the characters. So like I said, throughout the game you had a lot of creative lines and whatever, jokes and all that, and I liked it as well. I mean, my personal favourite was Beryl, the first gym leader, you know, saying, you know, I got rock hard candy, they call me the jawbreakers. Let me show you. But some of the dialogue they kept the same, and I'll give you an example. In the Candy Tower, they had Team Sour running through the entire building, but they had the same dialogue as the channelers, and it just made no sense why they would sound so spirited, unless they wanted to give the idea at the start, it's like, Team Sour's here, but they're being possessed. So I don't understand why Team Sour people were going, like, it didn't make any sense. So that's just my personal beef with the game, but still, I personally found the game enjoyable to play. It's probably one of my favourite ROM hacks that I've played. I would definitely recommend that if you have played it, if you haven't played it already, and you just want a review to see if you want to play a game and Nuzlocke the game, I would definitely say go ahead and do it. Like I said, aside from the negatives, there are a lot of positives in the game. So what I do now with my reviews is what I'm going to try to start doing is give them a collective score. And I'll give them scored based on creativity, story, and gameplay. Because I think that's what encompasses a good game, is those three factors. So for creativity, I'm going to give this game a 5 out of 5. I personally thought creatively, they did the game very well. They redid all the maps, they redid all the characters, they redid all the games and the story. I think they did a fantastic job at that, so I give you props for that. For the story, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. And the reason why I give it a 3 is because they had a good story leading up to the start of the game and everything. But then, as the game came towards it and everything else, things got a little bit flam-floozled here, there, and everywhere. And then, to have the final reveal be the Dark Track one with the champion was a little bit uneasy for me, because I didn't get the idea of why they wanted to plant that Pokemon or that leader at the end of it. And then for gameplay, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. So the reason I give it 4 out of 5 is because I like how they brought in double battles to every battle, because again, it changed your playstyle and everything else. And like I said, there was no glitches or anything. The game played really well. There was no bullshitting around. The game was to the point and did things really well. So my overall score for the game, my overall view of the game, I'm going to give it a 8.5 out of 10. So personally, I like this game, and like I said, I would definitely recommend you guys play this game. If I didn't like the game, I would tell you guys don't play it. But I'm telling you guys, I liked it, I enjoyed it, and I would definitely recommend you playing the game. I look forward to hopefully seeing a Pokémon Sweet version 2, or a remake on a later game. I would definitely play it, just to get a feel for it. I mean, I know that a lot of YouTubers played it years ago when it first came out, and I played it when they, the creators, I would say, made a patch for the game. So I don't know how big of a difference it would have made, but I would love to see this game be remade on like a Gen 5 maybe. I would say the latest, before you get all the 3D, dimensions and everything else. So I mean, if you have it on Gen 5 game, like Black or White or whatever, I would definitely be all for it. So I will say thank you very much for enjoying today's episode. It's a review. Thank you for enjoying today's review. If you guys enjoyed today's review, make sure you like one down below for us, because as always, your support is greatly appreciated, and stay tuned. Now, a lot of you guys might be wondering why I haven't done a review for Insurgents. Well, that's easy, because Insurgents hasn't been completed yet. So to have a review on Insurgents would be a bit too premature. I mean, I could do a part review, but then there would be no point because then when I do the final review, I'll be going over some of the points I made in the partial review. So when Insurgents is finished, I'll definitely finish off the Let's Play, and I will definitely go ahead and go ahead and play the game and then review the game, because that's what I want to try to do. Try to give you guys a more in-depth look at fan games. I want to give you guys my in-depth views on my perception of the game, because you know, like a lot of people, when they hear ROM-hack, they think, is it a good ROM-hack? And then they'll go, well, they'll read the reviews, they'll watch people discuss it, and that's what I want to try to contribute to. I want to try to contribute to people playing games like this, people that actually give a good effort into creating an innovative game, and I think Pokémon Sweet version definitely was that. So, thanks for watching, guys. Until the next time I see you guys, stay safe, stay sharp, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Later.